In 2013, that's right, 10 years ago, Mega Bloks released the UNSC Night Ops Gausshog, and I gave it a hard miss. Let's find out why. I'm Brickman117, welcome back to the channel and part 4 of my Mega Halo collection. The reasons I decided to skip this set at release was one, that yellow windscreen. I absolutely hated it. I thought it looked awful. And secondly, and more importantly, the lights and sound gimmick. If you don't know, this is a lights and sound set like the gunship. And for me, as an adult collector, at the time, I felt this gave no added value to my experience of the set, but it did put the price up, and it also detracted from the brick-based build experience that you would get with a normal Warthog by replacing the front section build with one giant lights and sound custom piece. I did, however, end up picking up this set brand new in box, as you can see, via eBay a few years ago, thanks to my completionist obsession with the Halo Mega brand. But up until the making of this video, I still hadn't actually put one together. As I'm sure you can tell by the thumbnail of this video, that has since changed, and so has my opinion on this set. At the beginning of this series, I vowed to try and build as many complete vehicles as I could from the scraps I'd collected in the form of hauls over the past 10 years. But when it came to the Night Ops Gausshog, unlike many of the vehicles that you've seen me build so far that had already been pre-parted out and sorted by myself years ago, due to my lack of interest in the Night Ops set, I never parted it out. Every time I saw parts that looked like it was from the set, I just put them in one big bag and left it to the side. So for this video, I had to painstakingly find all the parts through my entire parts collection with no idea whether I actually had them or not. But it was well worth the perseverance, because I've ended up with nearly 4 fully complete Night Ops Gaushogs, as well as a fifth one, 95% complete, just missing a very pivotal part for the Gausshog, which is why I've chosen not to show it today. But hopefully I'll get that part in the future, and I'll have 5 completed Night Ops Gaushogs. And I've got to say, I think they look pretty good. This set originally retailed for $33 and comes with 239 pieces. And although more expensive than the average Warthog at the time, in hindsight it doesn't seem too bad given the electronics features that this set comes with, as well as the choice of figures. You get a very nice Spartan Warrior, complete with black railgun. I think this is an absolutely fantastic green, definitely one of the best greens that Mega do in my opinion, for the old articulation style. And even though it's old articulation, I still think this figure looks fantastic today. 10 years old, bit of a dinosaur, but will still look great on display once I give it its own cube. You also get a Spartan Pathfinder with gigantic black shotgun, again in the same green. Once again, great detailing, holds up very well to today's standard in my opinion. So once again, those two guys look absolutely great together, and it's nice to get different figures, unlike the very early sets where they just used to give you 2 of the same Spartans. So it's nice to get a bit of variety. And then finally, you get the Promethean Knight Lancer. Check this guy out. I feel like we just don't see this level of figure anymore. I know we've seen the Hunters in some of the Halo Infinite sets, but as much as no one liked fighting these guys in game, I really did appreciate getting them in set, and I for one would like to see more Promethean / Forerunner foes feature in future sets, especially if we get some more big guys like this. There's no Watcher in this one. It doesn't come with a Watcher. For the longest of time, I kept getting these figures in hauls, wondering why they didn't have the Watcher with them. And then when I went to build the set, it's because there's no Watcher supplied. The space is there for a Watcher, but it just wasn't provided in this set, which is fine. As for the Warthog itself, it's a relatively generic build as far as Warthogs go, outside of the one-piece bonnet section, which incorporates the lights and sound feature. To trigger it, you push down on the tusks at the front. The batteries are gone in this one, so it doesn't work, but I believe the batteries in this one do work. And there you go. All those years later, I think there's 3 or 4 different sounds. I do have some batteries for the other ones. And whilst I say it didn't interest me at the time, I do quite like it now. Maybe that's just nostalgia hitting in. Inside, this hog does have seats, unlike the very earlier ones, and it also has this grab bar just in here, which is a way for a hook to attach, so the Lights and Sound Pelican gunship can actually pick this up with a tow bar at the back and move it from one place to another. The Gausshog I particularly like. I think that's a really nice build, one of the better ones I believe in my mind. And then around the back you've got the fuel cans, similar to the Warthog Resistance Warthog. You've also got a little step bar at the back here which can be folded in or displayed out like that, and also the actual back drops down too. So in terms of styling, I do like the styling of this Warthog. I wasn't particularly keen on the sand colour they used when it first came out, but now I really like it, and I think I like it because it's different. And the yellow screen, I've learned to really like that too, and especially when you see them all lined up against one another, I think it's just really nice to see something different. So once again, I've been very pleasantly surprised how my taste and preferences have changed over the course of the last decade when it comes to these fantastic little collectibles. And that is why the UNSC Night Ops Gausshog gets its very own cube. It's also worth mentioning, since part 3 of the Mega Halo collection, I did manage to cobble together another Brute Prowler, so that can go with the 4 I already have made. And I also came across a Covenant Locust attack set, the Versus one, so I think I'm going to put that together. I've also been building up the Purple Army by building as many old school Banshees and Wraith tanks as I can, and look forward to seeing all those together along with the Phantoms that I built and showed you in a previous video. But that's all for another time. So as always, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.